Hi everyone! So I wanted to make a video talking about 2013 and what that means for us as women. So I think we are going to see a lot of changes over the course of this next year. One thing we're going to start to see as women is that up until this point, all the energy on this planet really flowed in the direction of the male population. But as we transition more and more from this patriarchy into this new matriarchal age, we're going to see that the energy starts flowing more and more in our direction as women. So it's kind of like how everything always worked in their favor before. Now it's going to work in our favor, which is going to make our lives so much easier because none of us have ever experienced this before. It's going to be something really new and great for us. And I'm very excited for that. So other changes we will be seeing, we will see more and more of the male population being held responsible for all of their actions, their choices, for the way they've chosen to treat us our whole lives. We're going to start to see more and more of that. It's going to just keep increasing as we move forward, and we're going to see a lot of that this year. And I mean a lot, because the patriarchy is just completely collapsing around us, and especially in the next 6 months, it's going to become very, very obvious that it's over and it's done, and it is now the age of women, and it is all about us and what we want and what we need, and it's very, very exciting. So I think one of the big things as we go forward in 2013, if you're a woman, is to really start thinking about what it is that you want and you need in order to be happy, healthy, and safe, and to make sure all your needs are met, to make sure your dreams are coming true, to make sure other women's dreams are coming true. I think if there's one thing you got out of the patriarchy, it is that you cannot have a society that functions and that revolves around men. Right now we have every society in the world as revolved around men under the patriarchy. That was, the point of the patriarchy was this gift given to the male population, and they're ultimately held responsible for everything that took place under that gift, especially whether it was good or bad, and they shouldn't have allowed anything bad to happen because now they're going to be held responsible for that. But anyways, the one thing is, you cannot have a society that functions and revolves around men. It just does not work. And every society in the world is failing. There is so much human potential that is being lost because it's revolving around men and their needs and not around women and our needs. And when you have a society that revolves around women, it also revolves around children, it revolves around families. And when you have a healthy family, you're going to have a healthy society, you're going to have a healthy world. So that is a big thing. As we go into 2013, more and more of us as women need to really start collaborating and coming together and ensuring that everything is revolving around us and our needs, and we have access to all the resources we need in order to create all this. And I think one of the biggest barriers for us as women is that we have no representation in our government. We have a boy government that's run 100% by them. We're basically not allowed to be a part of it, and we don't have the resources we need to even get to that point to be a part of it. And then when women try to run for office, there's so much misogyny. I think it scares a lot of women into even trying for that. So we need our own government, and that's what we need in 2013. We need a government that's run 100% by women, in which we have our own female presidents, we have our own female Congress, 100% women, so that we can create what we need and what we want, and that our needs are actually being addressed. Because, the idea that any man could even know what a woman wants or needs, they don't know anything about our lives. There's not a man on this planet who could ever even begin to imagine what it's like to be a woman and how our lives are. It's just not possible. So it's ridiculous that they should have any control, any say, anything over our lives, and it feeds right back into this patriarchal system where they get control over us and they get to decide what resources we get and what resources we don't get, and in the meantime, girls are suffering so much, and There are so many human rights violations going on in this country, and it needs to stop. And the way it's going to stop is when we have our own government, because then we can create our own laws to address our needs and what we need as women, what every other woman needs. We also have the resources to end poverty, not just in this country, but we have so much money in this country. I mean, we could end it worldwide very easily if we had control over all those resources, so we can direct it towards what we need and what we want as women and what women worldwide want. So that's the first thing we need to do, is we need to start coming together as women and forming our own governments, not just in this country, but in every single country in the world, so that we have representation, so we can create laws that actually are safe for us, because these laws were created by men, and they were created by men for men, so that men can basically do whatever they want to us, and there's nothing we can do about it. And I mean, our safety is not a priority at all for them, and it needs to be. And we're going to be able to achieve this when we have our own laws, so that we can come together, and then we can create our own judicial systems, because right now that too is being run 100% by them with their boy laws, and it doesn't work for us. I mean, they just band together and support each other. We have little to no men who ever stand up and fight for us, who are ever on our side. I mean, and then when they have all the resources, it's like, what are we supposed to do? And then we try to be a part of their systems, but that either means we kind of have to conform to the patriarchy and the misogyny there, or, I mean, we're not even allowed to be included in the system. So we can continue to engage with these systems and try to change them, and we have made some progress, but it'll probably take us thousands and thousands of years to change them, because these systems were designed for men, to support men. They were never designed with us in mind, or with our happiness in mind, or our safety in mind. So it's so much better if instead we just throw our hands up and quit and say, okay, that's what the male population created. Okay, well, we're going to go over here and we're going to create our own government. We're going to create our own laws. We're going to have a justice system that is run 100% by us, by all women, so that we can actually get justice for everything we've gone through, and we can hold these men accountable and responsible for the way they've chosen to treat us. And the other really big barrier for us as women is definitely the media, because that is the other huge form of consciousness control that goes on in this country. The media and the government both run 100% by the male population, and of course they use that to just further their own agendas of hatred and misogyny, and it's left us voiceless. We have not had a platform to defend ourselves. They don't give us one. I mean, they just attack us all the time, but we've never had a way to defend ourselves until now. Now we have the internet. We can start on blogs. We really created a space here for us as women to speak our truths, and it's so important that every woman is engaging in this and is finding some sort of outlet online, or even if you can find a way in the larger media to make sure your voice is being heard and the voices of women are being heard and our stories are being told and the truth is being told about what our lives are, because they like to victimize us and then they just lie about everything and make it sound like we're these horrible people and we're somehow responsible apparently for the downfall of men, or mankind, when it's like, no, actually you guys created every evil that exists on this planet this time was created by the male population under the patriarchy. Before this, it didn't exist. This is 100% on them, and that's the truth. And they just lie about everything so that they can get away with things. And we know the truth of our lives. I know how my life has been. I know how all your lives have been. We know. We know what it's like. We don't need them to justify anything. We know the truth. And it's so important for us as women to come together and collaborate and start working on this. And so as we go into 2013, it is more and more about us, and for the rest of our lives, it will continue to be about us, which is wonderful because we definitely deserve it. And 2013 we're going to see a lot of these changes happening, especially in the next 6 months. I would say it's going to become more and more clear that the patriarchy is gone. It's being destroyed for good. It's not going to come back. And so the things we need to really focus on this year are female collaboration in this country and on a worldwide stage, because then we have 3.5 billion of us who all want the same thing, and it just makes us even more unstoppable than we already are. So we need to start coming together, create our own government, create our own laws, create a justice system that is run 100% by us, and continue to create our own media, which once again through the internet is perfect for us. We can create our own videos on YouTube, we can write our own blogs, our own books. This is a perfect outlet for us, so we can continue doing that. And we really need every woman on this planet, if she has access to that, to engage in that and to really be standing in her power and telling her story and demanding justice and demanding that the male population is held responsible for the way they choose to treat us and the way they choose to act. And so that I think that's pretty much all I want to talk about for 2013, but I am very excited for this next year. I think we're really going to start to see so many positive things happening for women, everything moving more and more in our direction. For the first time in our lives, things will actually like work out for us, which is just really amazing, because we've never experienced that and we deserve it. And I am so proud of every single woman and girl on this planet all over who has been standing up and fighting and has been doing everything she can to sort of take down the patriarchy and to stand up and fight for herself and for all of us. It's just been so remarkable to watch, especially over the last few years. I've seen just been increasing everywhere. It's just young and old. It's just every single member of our collective has just been showing up so strongly, and it's been so amazing to watch, and I am so proud of all of us for doing this and being so brave and strong and powerful. And we will get justice. We will get justice for everything, and we will triumph. Well, I think we've already triumphed, so we'll continue to triumph throughout this year. So go into 2013, be strong and powerful, and remember this year is all about you as a woman, putting yourself first and what you need first, and other women, putting them first too.